Plaintiff Tiny Johnson became a ward of the state at the age of 4, and at age 12, she ran away and became a prostitute. Tiny claims she turned her life around 14 years ago and started dating the defendant, but he was an unfaithful cocaine abuser, and she's suing him because he vandalized her car. Defendant Lawrence Johnson says when he met Tiny, she was an escort, and the two of them used cocaine together. Lawrence denies vandalizing Tiny's car, and he's countersuing for emotional distress.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may now be seated.
Start with you.
All right, Your Honor. At the age of 4, I just wanted to say at the age of 4, I was a ward of the state. And I ended up going to California. I was with a guy, and he told me he could help me get a record deal. Unfortunately, he ended up being a pimp. And I went through a lot of things with him. And
so how did you move out there? You met him where?
I met him in Minnesota.
Where? Where were you?
On the streets. On the streets.
By yourself? You
Yes.
was walking around on the
Yes.
street? Okay, and he walked up and said?
Yes, and said that he does music and that he could help me.
How did he know you needed that?
I was singing on the street, just
Okay,
sitting.
you're walking down the street
Yeah.
singing at
Yeah.
12?
Yes.
Where were you spending the night at that point?
At that point, I was sleeping on bus stops.
Okay, and you had left your foster care home, or?
Yeah, I was on the run.
What age had you left there?
The age of 10,
So for 2 years, where were you living?
bus stops.
Okay. Yeah, it is a known solicitation location
Yes.
for pimps to go hang out at the bus stations and wait for girls who've run away to get off the bus. So you left with him and you all moved to California, you say?
Yes.
And then you began a life of prostitution for how long?
From the age of 12 to 20.
And how'd you get out of that situation?
Unfortunately, I got a call that my mother passed away, my biological mom. So I came back to Minnesota, and I decided then that once I was there that I could get out of it, you know, and I stayed. I never went back.
Good, good. All right. And what has your life been like since?
It's been rocky, but you know what? I'm very thankful that I'm out of it. Was a PCA worker for 9 years, raising an 11-year-old daughter now.
Good.
I do road construction right now.
Good. All right. Great. Good. Good. So, you know, that's a big crisis in the country, is sex trafficking. Are
Yeah.
you helping in that area to combat it?
In a way, I have just girls and people that I've met, you know, through time. I, you know, share my story a little bit, not too much, but enough for them to understand, you know, there is ways out of it, and there's things that you could do with your life to better yourself. You don't have to stay dragged down. You don't.
Good. All right. That's a responsibility I think you bear as a result of having been blessed to get out of the situation yourself. Sir, you want to give me some background?
Basically, I mean, I like to write music and stuff, but what I do for a living, I work at Tyson, a production company, pork plant out in Waterloo, Iowa. And it's kind of going good for me right now. But back, my whole life, I basically was living with women and kind of like never had my stuff together.
Living with or off?
Living better, living off women.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, living off women.
Nothing wrong with living with women.
Yeah.
Depending on your value perspective, religion, or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, living off women is a whole different subject.
At a late age, I got it, but I figured better late than never, you know? And I'm in a better place in my life right now.
Good.
Yeah.
All right, good to hear that. Give me some background on your relationship.
Well, we met 2015, the summertime, and you know, we were just friends at first, but then we decided to make it a relationship. Unfortunately, he ended up going to jail for a year for probation violation. When he got out, I thought we could pick back up where we was at, but when Lawrence got out, he didn't want to work. He was using cocaine, smoking and drinking, and that's just something that I did not want in my life. You know, I've already dealt with all of that. So I'm in the process of doing a big change at this time. I was homeless when I moved to Waterloo, and that's when I invited him to come, you know, stay with us and try this again for a relationship. I went through a lot of emotional things with him, and the cheating and the disloyalty towards me.
Did you all break up, or are you still?
Yes.
All right. And when did you all break up, and why?
We broke up a couple of times, but this last time we broke up because he was cheating. I found his phone in my car, and I saw pictures of him and another girl having sex.
He videoed it?
It's a picture. Yeah, they did. And
why do people do that? It's a very popular thing for this generation to tape themselves. What is the deal?
I don't know. I don't
Probably
get
a memory or something. I don't know.
Right, and you refresh your memory by looking at it later?
I guess so.
Until your girlfriend or the public gets it and puts it all over the internet?
Right.
Your destiny is based on another person.
Yeah.
Your entire life.
Yeah.
All your future jobs, all your future opportunity, everything in the future that you might have, the view that your children might have of you.
Wow. Thank you.
Mama, I was browsing the internet and I came upon...
Is that you?
Yeah, was that you in there? I don't know. Well, let me just show you, Mom. Now, is this you or not? That's the risk when you're making these sex tapes, thinking that it's only going to be viewed by you for the rest of your life. And no, it's out there the rest of your life. That's what it is. All right, so she found the video on your phone?
Yes. Okay, well, kind of like catch it up. Like I did meet her in 2015. She was an escort dancer and stuff. She let me know that she wasn't actually having sex or doing anything with her clients or whatnot. We kind of hit it off and we were talking. But as one thing I do want to clarify, we were doing cocaine together. So that wasn't out of her life yet. It wasn't out of her life yet.
Yeah, okay.
We were doing it together.
You weren't crackheads who was snorting coke.
I mean, however you want to. Yeah.
Ain't no however.
I mean,
those are two big different things.
I mean,
so yeah, you
saying,
sound like a crackhead now, talking about however I want to say it. You know, those are two very distinct things: snorting cocaine and smoking crack. And when I ask you which one, well, however you want to view it, I want to view it the way you were doing it. Were you doing, or were you doing? Now, which one? That's why I want to view which one. Tell me how I view it. Which one? We all smoking crack or snorting?
Sir, no, not at all.
Snorting, and then when he left you, he was smoking crack.
He was snorting it.
You were smoking.
No, I don't smoke. I don't do none of that.
Crack?
That's not true, Your Honor. We met each other because of that situation.
Smoking crack?
No, not smoking crack, snorting cocaine. We both were doing that, and we were our mutual friends. I met her through a mutual friend.
So y'all cane heads, not crack heads.
Yes, sir. That's how I met her. One of my friends was talking to her.
Now, it's easy to stop being a cane head than a crack head.
Yes, sir.
I believe.
Yes, sir. That's why I was trying to say. Well, that's what I meant by however you want to view it. If you want to call it a crackhead,
there you go again.
We were snorting coke. We were snorting coke, which we both is not messing around no more. But yeah, that's how we met. We were.
That's why I was clarifying that, and that's why that does make a little difference. Because if you tell me, well, I just stopped smoking crack yesterday because I just didn't feel like it, yeah, you a lie. What happened with your car?
April 7th, I had to end up calling the police, and this was the same day that I found the text messages and the video of him with this girl. Now, I stayed away all day because I didn't want to argue. I wanted to, you know, talk like adults, and unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to do that because when I got home later that day, he trashed my house, threw cake all over my walls, and then tried to blame it on the dog. Like the dog can jump up there on the counter and knock everything off. Oh, go over here and throw cake over here, pick it up, and then go throw it in the next room.
What about the car?
The car, he smashed my window because I ended up calling the police on him the night before to have him escorted out. My daughter saw him pick up a rock and bust my window, my front window.
Who'd you tell about this, or did you mention it to him?
Oh, yes, he knows.
What has he said? Denied it?
At first, he did. Then he said, I will pay you back for it.
Okay.
That was just to help you. I mean,
That was-
that was just to help you. I'd never
play
bust your
boo-boo the
window.
fool all you
All
want
right.
to.
Judge,
And you all were still together at that time?
We broke up when I called the police.
Okay. Is that true?
Sir, we was never really together. This is
Okay.
why, because I wanted to kind of get the story. I was in Minnesota, like, I was trying to get to it. Like, we were back then in 2015, when we were dating, we got pulled over and we both got arrested. We had warrants that we weren't aware of. I went to jail for a year. She went for a couple days. I was with her then. Now, and while I'm in there, I'm hearing she's out, you know, cheating on me and stuff like that. Basically, I got out single. We haven't been together for 3 years. Basically, I got out single and everything. I got to working and, you know, doing good for myself. And then she reached out and we started talking again. She was telling me about how good she's doing in Iowa. And so I came down there. So when I came to Iowa, we were friends. We wasn't in a relationship.
You just came to visit her.
No, I didn't come to visit. I came for better opportunities. See, now I got my own house there.
Coincidentally.
He lying.
Huh?
He's
Was
lying.
it, you had already moved there when you all?
No, I was in Minnesota. I moved there after talking to her.
That's what I'm saying. And
Oh,
it was
okay.
just a coincidence that you were already going to move there.
No, I wasn't already.
So
Hello.
you moved there to be with her.
Yes, Your Honor, just say it.
Yeah, he's already said it, but he's scared you moved there to be with her.
Your Honor,
That's why we just went back and forth.
So I don't know about y'all, but where I come from, people live with each other and ain't doing.
Oh, that's true when they living off women in particular. You're right. You
I
did
told you.
establish that. And you were going with it and you moved where she moved to live off of her. Judgment for the plaintiff. Have a good day. I'm going to dismiss your claim. I believe you're a woman hustler and I believe that you damaged her car like she says. You even admitted just now that you told her you would be nice and repair it.
I told her I
So
would
let's
help
keep,
her.
you would help, right. So let's help at the tune of $2,110. Judgment for the
Thank you,
plaintiff. Have a
Judge.
good
Thank
day.
you, Your Honor. Thank you. I told you you were going to reap what you sow. I told you. I told you. I told you.
You got your money and you
God
can
don't
move
like
on.
ugly.
Bye.
God don't like ugly. You hurt me and my baby. I don't have nothing to say, but God don't like ugly. And watch how you treat people, because it'll always come back on you.
I'm just saying we was just cool as hell yesterday and every other day until now, been having sex and all of that. Now
No,
she's
you
throwing
can
a pity
sit here
party.
and lie all you want
But
to.
okay, it's cool.
But you know
man.
what? I'm done.
It's cool. She got her
Been
money.
done.
We can
You
move
hurt
on with
me.
this now, basically.
You need to understand you don't treat people like that, especially someone
need
who
to
loves
understand
you,
this
and
is
you
over,
broke
we
it.
done.
It's over. That's
We're
fine.
done.
Don't
It's
contact
over.
me, none of that.
It's over.